Hey, welcome back to the Orminators. I am Chris Orr of the Orminators. I am the Orminator at this point. And welcome to another overlanding related episode where now, as I go deeper and deeper into this lifestyle, when we were at Overland Expo West, one of the things that they told us is that you couldn't have an open fire, you couldn't have a campfire ring or anything like that. Which is kind of a bummer because really then at night, once the sun goes down, you don't have any real way to have, illuminate the place without a lantern and things like that. And, we noticed that around us, people had little propane fire rings, which was kind of cool. There's campfire, the little red thing that has, where, it's the lid and you open it up and this cool little thing. But those are like a couple $100. So I thought that I would go looking for a budget version of that. And I came across the Camco propane fire ring on Amazon as I was doing my research. So, and I didn't want a real big one because a lot of the ones that they had online were like 19, 20 inches, almost 2 feet. And if you look at this one, it's actually not too bad in size here. It's supposed to be about 14 inches in diameter, which is only a little bit bigger than the little red one that we saw. And I think that was the smallest one that we saw that was portable for RV camp or overlanding purposes. So let's go ahead and get this thing opened and see what it looks like. Out of the package from Amazon, and now we have the actual thing, and you can kind of get a sense about what it's going to look like. It's supposed to come with a bag, which is good for transportation purposes. I hate to have all those little rocks rolling around in the back of Kaylee there. Decorative tray, 14.5-inch fire ring, 8-foot hose, and adjustable regulator. So you can control the size of the flame, some folding legs. Let's get it open and see what she looks like. This is the bag that it comes in. Again, not too bad. It's surprisingly heavy, and I'm guessing it's probably the weight of the rocks that are in there. And we'll get it out and stood up and see what it looks like. It's actually a pretty nice sturdy bag. The straps are pretty good. It doesn't feel like it's going to tear. Not a cheap bag that'll wear out in a season. So, but we'll do a long-term video of this as well. Out of the bag, it's got these foldable, pretty heavy-duty rings, legs there, which are going to hold it up. There was a fine dust from the rocks in it, so it's going to be a little dusty as you use it. But you can see the burner and the attachment for the regulator and hose. And down here is a bag of rocks, which you would then put in the thing. And yeah, let's go ahead and get those in place and see what it looks like. Now with the rocks in place, you'll notice that they are I think they're lava rocks, very porous. Now one of the reviews that I saw on Amazon was that one of these rocks had exploded or popped somehow, and it almost put out their eye, of course. And I would guess that those rocks somehow managed to get wet and water got on the inside. And of course, when you get water on the inside of a porous rock and the water expands, and potentially bad things are going to happen. So I'd probably say that don't get those wet. Don't leave it outside in the rain and then turn it on to avoid maybe that particular situation. And you will probably be fine. Of course, I'm not an expert. Maybe anybody who's had one of these things or has dealt with hot lava rocks can leave a comment down below. Now the gas hose here is designed for your standard 20-pound tank, propane tank, not one of the little Coleman-sized green bottles. Although I guess with an adapter you can go ahead and use one of those as well. The hose is nice and long, so you can keep the tank away from the fire, so to speak. I wasn't planning on taking a 20-pound or even a larger tank, a big tank with me, but down to the E3 Grand Canyon trip with Trail Recon. Can't wait to see you, Brad. But with this thing in tow, I think I'm going to have to. so that I can light this thing up and see how it goes. This is the fire pit all lit up. Now, some of the reviews that I saw on Amazon said that, you know, some of the rocks popped, which I was thinking about. And I read the instructions a little bit further, and there was a big yellow warning tag in there that said, you need to cure these rocks. And so it recommended running the fire pit on high for 10 minutes. So this is what the fire pit looks like with the gas turned all the way up. And I guess it's going to heat up the rocks. And if there's any moisture in any of the rocks, it'll burn it out. And then if they pop, they'll pop. That's why they recommend standing 10 feet away, which is why I'm standing way over here while that thing runs. But I'm also just kind of goofing around with the regulator, kind of seeing how adjustable it is. And here I'm turning it down. It's not as much of a roar, if you will, coming out of it as a result. It's actually kind of nice. You can have a nice, pleasant thing. Now I'm not going to get too close to it because of the rock popping situation. After 10 minutes, I guess it'll be fine, but I wanted you guys to see what this looked like at night and how adjustable the regulator is for adjusting things. I've got it plugged into your standard big 20-pound propane tank. And I'm just going to enjoy this. It's nice and cool out here. Not raining, which is good. It says if the rocks get wet, you'll have to wait for it to, you have to cure it again. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is just a little bit of a review of a budget fire pit, not much smaller or not much bigger than the campfire one, the big red one. That's kind of all self-contained. That one's probably a little bit less messy, not as much rock dust, if you will, but I like it. If you're looking for a budget fire pit, this might be a good choice for you.